NCIS Hawaii will soon have a new cast member who will appear in the current season and future seasons of the popular spin-off. NCIS Hawaii bosses tease major casting shakeup for Season 2 and beyond. In 2021, Jane Tennant led a brand new team of agents who were introduced to millions of NCIS fans, played by Vanessa Lachey. NCIS Hawaii has already proven to be a good addition to the successful CBS franchise, and it looks like the family will grow even more when Season 2 continues in the new year. Later next year, viewers will finally get to meet Jesse Boone's wife and kids for the first time. In an earlier episode, it was shown that Jesse is married to a woman named Heather, but she hasn't shown up yet. The agent also has 3 kids, 2 of whom are named Gracie, Chloe Tsengari, and Jake. And while Gracie was shown in the first season of NCIS Hawaii, the rest of Jesse's family hasn't been seen yet. CBS producers have now confirmed that we will learn more about Jesse, his kids, and his wife over time. Their note for this season seems to confirm that not only will Jesse's family show up as guest stars, but they could also become regulars. In a conversation with TV Line, they added, "Some of this will happen in Season 2 and further." Not only will Noah's family be playing a major role in the second season, but it looks like viewers will be getting to know them much more over the coming years. Several important characters in the world of NCIS have told their co-workers about their spouses and children, and some of them have even started their own families. But other than Tennant's troubled home life, the new spin-off hasn't had much time to explore these interesting parts of the characters' inner lives. Over the last season and a half, viewers have learned a lot about Jesse and his family, including some important facts. Jesse was a police officer in Washington, D.C. before he joined the NCIS. He spent a lot of his time as a police officer questioning robbery suspects. After 3 years in Washington, D.C., he went through FLETC to become an NCIS field agent in Hawaii. Aside from work, he and his wife Heather probably have a happy marriage with 3 kids, a cat, and a dog. Fans may learn more about her history with game theory, which she was shown to have studied in Season 1 when she is properly introduced in Season 3. People who live on the island call Jesse a haole, which means outsider, because he was born on the mainland. Even so, both his co-workers and the people who live in Hawaii respect him. He often surfs and goes on trips to protect the environment. Before we see more of Jesse's family, though, the NCIS team has to get through the epic 3-part crossover that starts the new year. This is the first time that all 3 of the current NCIS shows, including NCIS Los Angeles, will be shown together, so it is sure to be one of the first must-see TV events of 2023. Next up, NCIS Hawaii's Vanessa Lachey confirms return of fan-favorite Season 1 star. Most of the talk about NCIS Hawaii lately has been about the historic 3-way crossover with NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles this month, but Jane Tennant, played by Vanessa Lachey, still has a lot of drama coming her way, and Tennant's love life may be brought up again since an old flame is likely to come back. Lachey says that as the second half of Season 2 goes on, fans of NCIS Hawaii can expect to see Captain Joe Milius and Veer Jokai back in the team. Matt Webb-Midovic of TV Line wrote in his Inside Line column that Lachey talked about Jokai's return. He wrote, "When I talked to Vanessa Lachey on December 14th, she told me, I was just texting Veer. I'd say he's looking forward to the future." She then continued, "We don't know the details, but he will be back on the island. So how and when Joe will come back into Tennant's life is still unknown for now. Could it be that Joe is leaving his new job in Washington to get back together with Tennant? Or could Captain Milius's knowledge be needed on the island for a long time? No matter how he comes back, fans will be happy to see Milius again, especially since Jokai has done well in other big-name roles." Jokai became a hit with Marvel fans for his role as Daniel Sosa in the TV series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back in 2020. He's also played Donovan in a few seasons of the ABC show The Rookie, which is about a police officer who solves crimes. His resume also includes roles in the TV shows Emerge on ABC, Resident Alien on Sci-Fi, and Major Crimes on TNT. Jokai's return to NCIS Hawaii shouldn't come as much of a surprise to longtime fans either, since the show's producers have already said they want him back. Before the Season 2 premiere, producer Jan Nash told TV Line he's a super talented guy, but he got another job, so he hasn't been available to us at the beginning of this season. We hope to see him again as his current job winds down. We care for him, and Veer is a good person. We love the way he works with Joe Milius, so we're hopeful." She Before Joe can get back into the action, though, the team has to get through the NCIS verse crossover without getting hurt. The trailer for the historic event already hinted that Tennant will be the target of a plan to kidnap her, but it looks like she'll be okay. IMDb gives the following summary of the 3-hour event. In Washington, D.C., to celebrate the retirement of a former professor, NCIS agents are forced to look into the professor's suicide. Tennant, Jimmy Palmer, played by Brian Dietzen, and Sam Hanna, played by LL Cool J, are taken hostage, and it all has to do with the mysterious suicide. In related news, NCIS DiNozzo actor strongly teases return of 2 popular characters. Michael Weatherly, who played Tony DiNozzo on NCIS, says that he and another fan favorite will be back. The long-running CBS procedural runs on January 9th for a big crossover event that will bring together NCIS and its 2 spin-offs, NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS Hawaii, for a 3-hour story that starts with the NCIS episode Too Many Cooks. From there, it will move on to Deepfake from Hawaii and end with A Long Time Coming from NCIS Los Angeles. It's a big step for the series because it brings together different teams to solve a case that's close to home. Now, in a Twitter response to a fan, Weatherly strongly hints that he'll be back on NCIS and that he won't be alone. Weatherly was talking to a viewer who wanted to see DiNozzo and Ziva David, Cote de Pablo, who were last seen together in the season 13 finale of NCIS in 2016. The actor's answer makes it sound like the characters might be back. Check out the conversation on Twitter below. Why did Michael Weatherly and Cote de Pablo leave NCIS? During DiNozzo's last appearance, he decides to leave the team to take care of Tali, whom Ziva had given birth to years before. As a tribute to Ziva, he would start his time away by going on a trip to Israel. He would then go to Paris. Since Weatherly left NCIS, de Pablo has come back as a guest star on the CBS show. Ziva was found to be alive, just like DiNozzo seemed to know, but she was on the run. Given these problems, the couple's story didn't have the best ending. Some people have thought that maybe Ziva and Tony got back together off screen. When asked why they left NCIS, de Pablo said at first that she left out of respect for her character. In a 2016 interview, she said, "Unfortunately, I chose not to return to NCIS because of political issues and bad scripts." In 2019, when she was a guest on the show again, she explained that those comments had been taken out of context. In any case, de Pablo's decision to leave affected Weatherly's decision to leave because he thought it was important for DiNozzo and Ziva to get along. He also said he wanted to try something new, so he moved on to lead another CBS police drama called The Bull, which ended in May 2022. Weatherly recently said that he would like to play DiNozzo again, and NCIS showrunner Stephen D. Binder agreed with him. Even though there is no official confirmation, these hints are good news for fans who want to know what happened to Ziva and DiNozzo, especially now that it has been several years since Weatherly and de Pablo stopped being regulars on the show. Even though the procedural has lost many important main characters, including Gibbs, some of the deaths have been messier than others. As a bonus, NCIS Parker isn't Gibbs, but they share a few qualities. The writers of NCIS did a good job of letting Parker act like Gibbs without actually taking his place. Gibbs likes to build boats, and Parker likes to watch birds. Gibbs always had coffee, and Parker always brought pastries to everyone. Gibbs's inability to use technology has always been a source of humor, while Parker's new communication app has made it easier for the team to solve cases. All of this means that Parker has some characteristics that are similar to Gibbs's, but they are different enough to make him his own character. Parker has also been a lot less tense than Gibbs, which has been a breath of fresh air for NCIS. Even though the show's ratings have gone down since Mark Harmon left, that doesn't mean, though, that Parker doesn't care about his job. At the beginning of season 20, Parker showed another trait that he had in common with Gibbs. Something from his past came back to bite him, and, like Gibbs, Parker ran away from the law with his ex-wife in tow. The character has filled the space that Gibbs left perfectly.